and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark, and today I get to check out the incredible A Better Tomorrow Trilogy, released on 4K UHD Blu-ray by Shout Factory. Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia.
A Better Tomorrow 2. Gangsters, Guns and Girls. Starring the undisputed king of Hong Kong cinema, Chow Yun-fat.
So, continuing on with the Hong Kong Cinema Classics range from Shout Factory, numbers 19 to 21. Now, if you have been watching, recently I did Chinese Ghost Story Trilogy, Hard Boiled, and now this, but it seems that we are missing number 18 of their Hong Kong Cinema Classics. That title, in fact, is The Killer, which seems to have been delayed slightly till the start of December. So it will get here, but they seem to have put out A Better Tomorrow Trilogy before that, and I am absolutely happy with that, because any and all Chow Yun-fat is worth getting, but getting it on 4K is so frigging exciting. And Hard Boiled, of course, blew me away. It just looked glorious. So I have high hopes for this stunning piece. This is just gorgeous, beautifully done. As you can see on the side there, we get the numbers 19 to 21, and I cannot wait. 3 more of my favorite Hong Kong movies. Oh, I am just super excited for this. Now, of course, I have multiple options of watching this movie. A lot of people have been crying about the Golden Princess, Cinema City titles never being available, never being out there, you know, or we have such bad copies and quality of all this. I mean, they've always been there. There's just been a small delay in getting the real high quality Blu-ray or 4K releases that we've always wanted, and now it's happening. But I'm going to show you just how many versions I have of this and that movies like this and Hard Boiled have always been there. So the first I ever saw was A Better Tomorrow on the MIA video release. Look at this big block. I mean, this is massive, absolutely huge, but fantastic. Comes with the English dub, of course, and I fell in love. It was just tremendous, but this was my first introduction to A Better Tomorrow. Following that, MII and Hong Kong Classics released this gorgeous collector's box, which is just tremendous. Comes with a host of special features inside. What do we got? We got the original language widescreen version with English subtitles, Hong Kong cinema trailer, filmed interviews with John Woo, Chow Yun-fat and T. Leung, 16-page collector's film guide, and a John Woo filmography. But that was just such an incredible little piece to get and to add to the collection. Now, Made in Hong Kong didn't release part 1, of course, because it was put out by MIA. So they did go ahead with part 2. And this was the first time that I had ever seen this movie. And again, just blew me away. Original language, English subtitles, of course, and they followed that up with A Better Tomorrow 3, which a lot of people really don't like because John Woo really didn't have anything to do with it. But after some disagreements between him and Choi Hark, he went off to make Bullet in the Head, which I adore, of course, and Choi Hark came up with this prequel as to how Chow Yun-fat's character became the one we know from A Better Tomorrow. I really enjoy A Better Tomorrow 3, and I'm hoping that this reintroduces it to people with that 4K restoration, because it is a glorious movie and there's some incredible action scenes in there. The DVD market, I picked up the Delta Mac Hong Kong DVD of A Better Tomorrow, and it was okay. It was an alright upgrade. The quality wasn't fantastic, but it was an alright upgrade. This one I picked up recently while I was in Rotterdam, and this of course is the Dutch release for A Better Tomorrow. There just comes with Dutch subtitles and Cantonese language option, but it was only £1.50, and I thought it would be a nice addition to the collection while waiting for this more expensive box set. I then got the Optimum Asia Steelbook double disc edition of A Better Tomorrow many moons ago, but this was a gorgeous, gorgeous release, beautifully presented, so gorgeously done, absolutely stunning, digitally restored and remastered, audio commentary with Bay Logan and trailer, and then you have documentaries on John Woo, interviews with John Woo and Chow Yun-fat. This was definitely the best DVD release of part 1. Hong Kong Legends then remastered A Better Tomorrow 2, which I have here a couple of times. Going to share that with you. They never did put out part 3 from what I remember, but they did put out the Hong Kong Legends magazine for A Better Tomorrow 2. So this is the only version, or the only other version I have of that on DVD. Then the Blu-ray market came in. My husband got me for my birthday one year this gorgeous box set from Nova Media, the South Korean distributors, and it really did the job. It was a nice piece, not perfect by any means, still very, very grainy here and there, but the best I had ever seen them look, and it was a tremendous, tremendous upgrade. Then in Germany they released it as City Wolf. I never got part 1, I've still got to get City Wolf part 1, but I did get City Wolf part 2, A Better Tomorrow 2, as a media book Blu-ray format, and I was very, very pleased with this. English subtitles and beautiful picture, beautifully presented, really, really enjoyed that. And then they put out part 3 the exact same way, and this gave me a really nice presentation of this very, very underrated movie. Fabulous piece, absolutely fabulous. But that's pretty much all I have of those movies so far. I think I've been around the studio a couple of times and I think that's everything, but I could be missing something. Anyway, look no further, because until Arrow Video put out their version, this is the ultimate edition of A Better Tomorrow 1, 2 and 3, and I am super friggin' excited. This is a 6-disc collection, which is just tremendous, and the special features are going to take me some time. I really think I need glasses though, because it's all starting to just meld into one big block. Okay, disc 1, A Better Tomorrow 4K UHD, new 4K scan from the original camera negative, presented in Dolby Vision. New optional English subtitles, newly translated for this release. New audio commentary with James Mudge. Disc 2, A Better Tomorrow again on Blu-ray, 4K scan from the original camera negative, as we know. New subtitles. A new interview with John Woo called Better Than the Best. New Between Friends interview with producer Terence Chang. New When Tomorrow Comes interview with screenwriter Chan Hing Ka. New Thoughts on the Future interview with filmmaker Gordon Chan. New Better and Bombastic interview with filmmaker Gareth Evans. New Hong Kong Confidential Inside A Better Tomorrow with author Grady Hendrix. New audio commentary with James Mudge. Trailers and image gallery. So obviously, as with everything else, we get more extras on the Blu-ray so as not to take away from the quality on the 4K. Disc 3, A Better Tomorrow 2, 4K UHD, 4K scan from the original camera negative, presented in Dolby Vision. New English subtitles, optional of course. Audio commentary with James Mudge. Disc 4, Better Tomorrow 2 on Blu-ray. The 4K scan is there, the new subtitles, the James Mudge audio commentary. Then we have a new interview with John Woo called A Tumultuous Tomorrow. Better Than Ever, a new interview with Frank Zhang. Hong Kong Confidential, Inside A Better Tomorrow 2 with Grady Hendrix. Trailer and image gallery. Then on disc 5, A Better Tomorrow 3, Love and Death in Saigon on 4K UHD. 4K scan from the original camera negative, presented in Dolby Vision. Optional English subtitles, newly translated. And an audio commentary by David West. I wonder why James Mudge didn't want to do that one. Interesting. Disc 6, Better Tomorrow 3 on Blu-ray with that 4K scan, audio commentary and new English subtitles. Interview with screenwriters Yu Ming Leung and Fu Ho Tai called Third Time Lucky. A new Hong Kong Confidential Inside A Better Tomorrow 3, Love and Death in Saigon with author Grady Hendrix. A new All Our Tomorrows interview with Gilbert Poe, New Nam flashbacks, an interview with Vietnam War researcher whose name I am not going to try to pronounce. Then you have the theatrical trailer and image gallery. Oh, wow! Disc 7? Fucking right. There's a bonus disc. Okay, long lost A Better Tomorrow 2 work print featuring over 30 minutes of never before seen footage. And then A Better Tomorrow 3 Love and Death in Saigon Taiwanese cut. Wow. Oh my gosh, now that was a surprise. I didn't see that. My thumb, when I was first reading that there were 6 discs, my thumb was covering that, but there is a bonus disc 7, which is just incredible. Now, of course, the 4K UHDs will all be region free, but the Blu-rays are region A. And of course, Arrow are going to follow up with a UK release, hopefully sooner rather than later. But that, wow. 7 discs, that's an incredible set. Oh my god. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And look at that collaboration of scenes from all the movies on the front there. That is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay, let's get stuck in. I cannot wait. Now, the only thing I feel that it's missing is a book of some sort. And it could still be in here. Don't get me wrong. They did send, as they do with all the releases, and I nearly forgot to show it with Hard Boiled, was a poster. And when you order from Shout Factory on time, you do get a limited edition poster sent out with that. Now, I wish, as much as I appreciate them being rolled up and stored correctly, I do wish they would fold it up and put it in the box as Idiot Films would do, because it would save on postage with that big tube. But look at this. This is just glorious. And Anita Mui there, that's a great scene when she starts shooting people up in part 3. Fan-friggin-tastic. So excited. So excited. I'm definitely going to have to get a bigger poster book for the Shout Factory posters, because they're a different size altogether to everything else that I've got. Okay, let's get stuck in here. We have got some very contrasted covers. This is the first one. Very contrasted. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay, cracking this open. Okay, we have both discs in there, of course. We've got the Blu-ray and the 4K, as you can see, separated. And the covers are one-sided, unfortunately. But you will see the full spread here, which is still pretty cool. And they've each got their own colour about them there. They're not too identical, which is nice. But I would have loved to have seen a reversible cover with using this new artist, and I don't know who it is, there's no name on there, but using some of his artwork to give these films their own identity, which is fantastic. Oh my god, this, I cannot wait to see these in 4K. I really am super excited, and very excited for The Killer whenever it finally gets here, of course. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago really that the announcement came about, or it doesn't feel like that long ago, but time does pass. When you get to this age, time passes incredibly fast. But yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago that Shout Factory announced, oh shit balls, oh that's not good, oh no, oh dear. Okay, how did this work? So we got 2 discs. No, one there. Ah, dear. Okay, I'm not going to cry about it. Okay, so obviously with this third set we have got 1, 2, 3. So we have the bonus disc here on the end, which looks pretty cool. But they're all beautifully designed. And as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by these loose discs, that what doesn't seem that long ago, the Shout Factory announced this incredible deal, and now they are just pumping them out there. There we have 21 titles already, whereas Arrow have put out, or are just putting out 1. They are just getting to the first one. Now I granted they are obviously doing something a little bit different there, but you'd think they would hurry the fuck up. But this, 21 titles later, I'm still very happy with what Shout Factory is doing. So I'm going to go check out everything that's on here, come right back, and let you know what I think. So, just back after checking out the Shout Factory 4K UHD box set release of the classic A Better Tomorrow Trilogy, and these movies looked incredible. But not only that, it's the extra features that come with it that make this an absolute winner. And I really do hope, jumping ahead here, that Arrow put out the exact same and a wee bit more of what is contained in this box set, because it is absolutely well worth the pennies in my eyes. The movies looked gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I have no need to go back to any other version I have of them in this studio. This for me right now is the ultimate copy of this trilogy. And boy oh boy, it has been a long time coming for these to get the love and treatment that they deserve. One thing that does stand out to me though, if you look behind me, the artwork, which I do adore, I think it's fantastic, is missing Leslie Cheung, one of the prime characters of the first two movies, and it kind of upset me a wee bit that he's not a part of that when we have got Anita Mui, who is just in part 3 I suppose, and Dean Shek from part 2, who gives a performance of a lifetime. Don't get me wrong, he is incredible in the sequel, but I just feel that Leslie deserved to be on there without a doubt. Anyway, small gripe, moving on. 4K prints, stunning. James Mudge audio commentary on part 1 and 2, absolutely well worth checking out. As always, the Giggler does a fantastic job informing, giving us a breakdown and his memories on these movies. It is definitely well worth listening to. David West does part 3, and while I often find David a very hard listen to because his tempo is quite a bit slower than James Mudge or say Mike Leader, Arna Benham and so on, I managed to get through the most of it. And for what I did listen to, as always, very well written and very informative. Regardless though, all worth checking out for sure. Great set of audio commentaries on there, and what you have on the 4K disc in terms of just the movie and the audio commentary also carries on to the Blu-ray discs here. Now, before I move on with the special features, I just wanted to point out that with the Blu-ray version of the restoration, that the nighttime scenes did come across a wee bit more grainier than what the 4K was given. It's still very good, don't get me wrong, it just in my eyes looked a bit grainier in the darker shots. But yes, all the special features, there's so many of them, I had to make some notes to keep me on track, so bear with me if I glance away. I'm not ignoring you, I'm just trying to remember exactly what's on here. With A Better Tomorrow 1, the first is Better Than the Best, which is a Chow interview for about 34 minutes in length, delivered in English again. Some lines a wee bit tricky to make out there, but overall a fantastic piece. I mean, so insightful. He talks about this as if it was yesterday. He's got such a great memory on all of these movies, and I suppose he's talked about them in many interviews over the years. Following that, you have Between Friends, which is a 7-minute piece with producer Terence Chang. Another very insightful piece. He delivered a fantastic one on the hard-boiled release, and this is cut from the same interview, I'd imagine. A lot of the people are returning in this that were on the hard-boiled interviews, and it seems to be just snippets of those same interviews, but relating to those particular movies that we're talking about, of course. When Tomorrow Comes is screenwriter Chan Heng-ka. Again, he was interviewed on the hard-boiled disc, but this one is a wee bit longer, for about 21 minutes, Cantonese with English subtitles, but he's been a screenwriter for Woo and Choi Hark on a number of projects, but again, gives us a wee bit more insight as to how he started with them and where he came from and the creation of some of the characters there. The same with Gordon Chan. Gordon Chan, director of, say, The Medallion, Thunderbolt, things like that, interviewed on the hard-boiled release as a screenwriter, but also as an uncredited screenwriter here, again kind of brought in to help smooth things out there. But again, a very interesting piece, ran for about 8 minutes, and also then goes on to discuss how when he got into directing films that he wanted to create a more realistic sort of version of gunplay, as opposed to John Woo's more poetic style that everyone loves and talks about. Then you have Gareth Evans, Better and Bombastic. Gareth Evans, the director of the Raid movies, has a lengthy piece for about 23 minutes in all. Talks about basically John Woo and his films, where it all started from him, you know, renting the movies as a kid, etc., and really getting into it and finding his love for Hong Kong action through this heroic bloodshed genre, and more specifically Woo's movies. Then you have another Hong Kong Confidential from Grady Hendrix, this time running for just under 18 minutes. Another fantastically put together piece. Grady is great, he's a storyteller, he puts it across as if he was on set that day, but it's definitely well worth listening to if you want a fun and insightful piece to the A Better Tomorrow film. Then you have trailers, just over 6 minutes of trailers. You have the Hong Kong one in full HD, and then you have a really cool unrestored though Japanese trailer. Of course it's going to be delivered in HD because it's on a Blu-ray, but it is unrestored. And then you have a very cool image gallery that runs for just under 4 minutes in length. Some super cool poster art there, physical media, lobby cards, stills from the movie, etc. But it looks fabulous. Then we go to A Better Tomorrow Part 2. And this is a movie, and I've reviewed these on my website. You can go and check that out there if you want to get my full breakdown on there. I talk about this being a movie I've always wanted to be a 5-star movie. And a lot of people think it's better than the first, maybe more so in terms of action. But I don't know, I always felt that it was missing something. When we get to the bonus disc though, I'll explain why. So of course we have that James Mudge commentary I talked about. Then we have A Tumultuous Tomorrow, a 26-minute interview with John Woo again, delivered in English of course, where he gets into the nitty-gritty about A Better Tomorrow 2 and the fact that it was basically studio pressure, that he had different ideas for it, and Choi Hark kind of sent him on another direction, and basically how they fall out of their friendship because of this particular project. But definitely again another one well worth watching. Better Than Ever is a 19-minute piece with Frank Jiang on A Better Tomorrow, but also on A Better Tomorrow 2, sorry, but also on, again, heroic bloodshed and so on there. But it's an interesting piece. Listening, and of course Frank, being from Hong Kong, talks about his time watching them and audience's reaction, things like that. Then we have another Hong Kong Confidential from Grady Hendrix, of course this time on A Better Tomorrow 2, runs for about 10 minutes, but again a wonderfully put together piece that just continues this wee series that he's got going with Shout Factory and all these new HKCC releases, and they're definitely well worth checking out of course. After that you have about 9 minutes of trailers. You have a 6-minute, a very lengthy 6-minute non-HD unrestored, I should say, trailer for the movie, and then you have another unrestored trailer for A Better Tomorrow 1, which finishes with the title card for A Better Tomorrow 2. Very weird why it was put on there, but that's just there. Anyway, they're okay to watch, but that 6-minute one is maybe too much. It gives away a lot of what is going on in the movie, of course. And then again, you have an image gallery that runs for just over 3 minutes, more poster art, more lobby cards, stills, etc., things like that, but it looked fantastic. Then we have A Better Tomorrow 3, and this has always been seen as the bastard child of the series, but it is really a fabulously made movie. It is heavy on the drama, but there is some really stylish action throughout there. This again, the 4K looked fantastic. I do have this through the German Media Book Blu-ray release, but this absolutely took it up to the next level there. So David West audio commentary, as I talked about. You have Third Time Lucky, which is a 24-minute interview with screenwriters. Let me get this one. Yu Ming Leung and Fu Ho Tai. Now, these are two guys you don't normally hear from, that you don't really see a lot of, interviews popping up with them. So I always find that these are the most interesting ones, because these are people that have a lot to say and they don't get asked. But this was definitely an interesting piece for sure. And how their involvement with the Hong Kong film industry. One of them has went on to become his own director in his own right, but also with this movie in particular. Then you have Hong Kong Confidential, again another 10-minute piece from Grady Hendrix. More of the same, beautifully put together, well written, and always fun to watch him deliver some information on these classic movies. Then we have All Our Tomorrows, a 23-minute piece from academic Gilbert Poe. This is a piece de cam where he talks about all of the A Better Tomorrows, the film series and its remakes or inspirations, things like that, like Return to A Better Tomorrow, the Korean A Better Tomorrow, the Ding Xing, A Better Tomorrow, and so on. So he really goes into depth there, and it is definitely worth watching if you are interested in this particular series. But of course, nothing really quite touches on the original movie for me. It is still one of the greatest Hong Kong pieces for sure. And then we have Nam Flashbacks, a 17-minute piece on how A Better Tomorrow 3 represented the conflict of the Vietnam War. This is done by, I can't remember her name, an academic on the Vietnam War, and it was okay for one viewing. I have no need to go back to that whatsoever there, but it does kind of like hit on the realism of what Choi Hark brought to his movie in terms of what was happening there at the time. Then we have a 5-minute theatrical trailer, of course unrestored but delivered in HD because it's on the Blu-ray. It gives away quite a lot, and most of it is to allow that wonderful Anita Mui song to play there. But yeah, it's a cool trailer, but if you haven't seen the movie already, it might ruin it for you, trust me. And then we have an image gallery, the shortest of them all at just under 2 minutes, but again a cool selection of posters, artwork, stills from the movie, etc, etc. And then we get to the bonus disc number 7, which was just incredible, because on this we have, for the first time ever, the A Better Tomorrow 2 work print, the closest version of what John Woo really wanted. It's very low in quality, and it explains why. There's a huge scrolling note at the start that talks about how they found this footage, how they put it together, Brandon Bentley and producer Henry Weintraub, and the work they went to make this happen. It's probably about maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour short of John Woo's original vision. I think it was closer to a 3-hour edit, but we get a lot more footage here, and for that reason, for me not wanting to make A Better Tomorrow 2 a 5-star review in my eyes, I can do that with this work print, because now we see why there was some silly choices made in the version that everyone has seen of A Better Tomorrow 2, but now this makes it clear, and it was incredible. Such a wonderful watch. Definitely the movie I am going to. I only wish that it had been cleaned up more so and released in 4K, because it is a far superior version than that international or Hong Kong version that has been put out there over the years. This has to be seen by any true fan. It was incredible, absolutely. Now, although I said the quality was bad, of course we get it in HD, but watching this as well was very nostalgic for many reasons, because it almost felt like I was watching one of those old bootleg videos that I used to buy from the ads at the back of Impact magazine. These were like sometimes 2nd, 3rd or 4th generation videos that had really bad quality pictures, but it looked fantastic, and I had such an amazing time with this. I mean, honestly, that alone for me was totally worth the pickup. It was just incredible to see, and kudos to Bentley and Weintraub for putting that together. Then you also have on there the A Better Tomorrow 3 Love and Death in Saigon extended Taiwanese version. Now, I have got this on the German media book, so I have watched it and I do enjoy it. Again, it's quite a lengthier piece, probably about 30 minutes more than the standard version that is put out there, and it looks fantastic. The quality is just stunning, and it is a wee bit better than that German Blu-ray that I do have there. But I mean, wow, all in all, what a release, what an incredible box set put together. Again, I just hope that Arrow Video are going to give us this and a wee bit more. The only thing that to me should have been included in here was a book. We got that wonderful book with Hard Boiled. I feel that A Better Tomorrow, the trilogy, deserved to have its own book in there also, and that's where I hope Arrow is going to make up for that. But still, I love this. I was very, very happy, even with that bonus disc more so. So I am absolutely giving this a double thumbs up. Super glad that it's in my collection. Out now to buy from Shout Factory. So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram at InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.